already know what it is. When you see me, it's time to get up and get active. I don't care if you got rollover, you know, check your phone. I don't give a goddamn if you fall out the bed. It's time to get up, get yourself together, and figure out what you're about to do. You know, yesterday, not only did I go check out an old gym, I went to go see about some skills training, got some information. Now I know where to go so I can see about what type of training that they have. You know, I'm looking for some specifics, but I mean, hey, if they got some training that suits my I could say my personality or something that I would like to do, especially if it's hands on. Hey man, I'm all for it. I want to give a shout out uh, to Maha Selena and her husband because, you know, I was already doing some cleaning and getting some things together, but they made me say to myself, you know what? Let me go ahead and get a early stretch. You know, they're doing this workout challenge, you know, and they wanted to see if they could get fit in 100 days. And I really do commend this young couple, man, because they're doing it together, you know, and not only that, they're showing people that it can be done as a team. And that's what's important, you know, showing each other that if we work together, we can reach a common goal. So this right here got me pumped, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch. I was already about to, like I said, get busy and do a little bit of training, but I figured why not stretch, you know, because I like to jump into it and warm my body up and then stretch. But I mean, you know, I'm getting up there and I'm not as flexible as I used to be, even though I will say I've been getting there. I couldn't do this just a month ago, 2 months ago. You know, I couldn't bend over and grab my big toe or all of my toes. So that's good, you know. And I have to say, all of the running back up and down the court, jogging, tiptoeing has really strengthened my calves. Now I have to work out a lot of kinks from the waist down, but my calves have gotten bigger, you know, and that's from just trying to be nimble and take my time. My legs are always on my mind, so that's one of the reasons why I kind of tiptoe and I take it easy and I'm not as aggressive, you know. But I feel like in due time I'll be able to move the way I want. You know, I've had games that I've played and I got an opportunity to see what I felt like was the old me to some degree, even though I wasn't jumping as high and moving as fast as I used to. But at the same time, I felt my skills home in to a degree that I said to myself, if I keep working, I felt like if I can lock into that uh, energy, that momentum, that speed, I'll be pretty good. You know, I think that that'll be okay. And then just gradually strengthen, you know, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, and especially the cartilage. You know, you want to make sure that you build that synovial fluid back up in the knees and them joints, and that's really my main focus. Is just to get stronger day by day, uh, and then use this to help build mental toughness and strength so that we can continue to do the things that we have in mind. I'd like to own my own business again, but this time I've been thinking about really expanding, taking it to another level, not just uh, maintaining and having something that I can call my own. I want to really uh, be able to give my son something, that he can be proud of, or at least do my best to uh, save enough and invest enough to help him figure out what he'd like to do. Because my son, he already has a cleaning business, and he does carpets down at the college. He also has a job, which, like I said before, I'm very, very proud of him, man. It's just almost no words. I mean, I can explain it, but the way I feel to know that he wants more than just what they project on social media and what these celebrities talk about, and I can see it in his eyes how he doesn't want to be around negative people that don't uh, reflect God, and they don't want to grow and build and educate themselves. And yes, he's, in my opinion, still young, and he has some learning to do. But at the same time, I like the direction he's going in when it comes to separating itself from uh, today's quote unquote YN. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is just, something that I have to thank God for. Of course I believe in God. So this is another reason why I do this. I make sure I stay active, even though I haven't played basketball. I've been playing now for December, January, about 3 months almost. And before that, I haven't stepped on a basketball court and played 5-on-5 or anything in 11 years, 10, 11 years. So it's about 11, so this process, it's going to take some patience. Uh, it's going to take being honest with myself, not rushing and, thinking that I can just go out here and relive moments from 10, 15 years ago and just go out for an alley or a dunk or something like that. It's just that's somewhere down the road if I continue to stick with this and get into my plyometrics and make sure that I'm doing my squats and my deadlifts and continue to stretch and work on my flexibility. And through time, it's possible. I think I could dunk a basketball again. I really do. I could touch the backboard now a little bit. I couldn't do it at all when I first got in the gym. So what I've been focusing on now is more squats. I've ramped it up just a bit. I've been working on my legs every day. I've been going to the gym every day. I just stopped uh, sharing as many videos because I've been doing lives, and that right there has been a new experience because you get to interact with people. So that's kind of, you know, I'm not gonna say derail, but I've just been more interested in doing lives because you can talk to people and connect to people right there, boom, bow, so that's what I've been doing. And you can just, talk shit, you know. Uh, I've already run into a couple of people that gets on my live and they talk all crazy and say all type of stuff. What's going on, Natalie? What's going on, Firefly? But if you're not doing anything right now, you might want to do something. I mean, whatever you are pretty much good at, that's what you should probably do. As long as it's not hurting anybody. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's combat sports. Then that's cool. You want to throw an elbow on them. You know what I'm saying? Hit them up with the leg drop. You know what I'm saying? You want one of those? All right, cool. But you gotta do it the right way. But that's what we're lacking. It's a lot of people out here that don't understand that you have to do what you love. I'm not saying that you don't have to work. I'm not saying that you want to avoid getting a job. I'm saying that, you know, you have this gift or talent that you've been given that you probably put on the back burner because you felt like you had to get a job, or you felt like you maybe that task is too hard, or you don't have the means. It's always something. But that's probably what you should be doing. So I'm going to continue to get my stretch on, and I'm going to let y'all know that you probably need to get your ass up and find something to do. I'm trying to tell you. Personally, like I said, this is my way of telling you, don't do it. Don't sit around and wait for it to come. Go take it. And I'm not, and I'm talking about legitimately. All the finessing and all that bullshit, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. The best way for you to get it is to work hard, become skilled, disciplined, and it's nothing like accomplishing your goal, when you stick to it and stay disciplined, and that right there is enough to speak for you. So I mean, that's what I suggest you do. And like I said, anyone that comes on this channel, I'm just like you. I don't know why people see. That's another reason why I wanted to do this, because there's too many people watching these social media channels, and they create this own image and perception of these people, and they don't look past the glitz and the glamour. And even YouTube now is becoming Hollywood. It's a lot of creators getting on YouTube, fronting and faking, and pretending to live a lifestyle because they know what type of people it will attract. And that's a $1 billion industry, buffoonery, So, I mean, if you happen to engage in it and I mean, because I'll talk about it. I don't mind talking about relationships. I don't mind talking about what's going on in our communities, but at the same time, it's not about likes, it's not about clicks, it's more about how we still have this perspective and how we're still trapped and how we still choose to live a life of crime, and it's not benefiting anyone. I mean, at this point, you look at the last 40 years, 50 years, we've pretty much created, or not created, I mean, this is genocide. I mean, honestly, it seems like we're killing each other a lot more than we're having babies nowadays. So this is a form of genocide. And for our people to think that we've evolved and reached a level of intelligence that supersedes our ancestors or elders is just ridiculous. So you gotta get to work. I don't care if you read, I don't care. I mean, it has to be something. And I'm telling you that because I've wasted so much time. I refuse to let a young person waste their talent. If I get I went outside the other day, and this is, I mean, I feel like God, finds ways to talk to us all, and I've opened myself up to that a long time ago. And it was another day. I was saying I was going to the gym late, and I just wanted to go to make sure I put in at least an hour and a half of work. Because it helped that blood flow the next day. So but I was saying, well, I could go tomorrow, but I ended up going anyway. You have those conversations in your head about how you can get it done tomorrow or maybe the next day. It's normal. But we do have a tendency to listen to those voices in our head, and it sways us. The pendulum is always, so I decide to go, which for 95% of the time, 98% of the time, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go put in whatever work that I said I'm going to put in. So I go, and this young man outside, he sees me, and he says, he said he was 12, and he said his birthday is Thursday, tomorrow, I believe. But this was 2 days ago. And he said, excuse me, how do you dribble a basketball? And I mean, it was almost in, in, instant. Like it was for me to want to assist him, because I could see it on his face, because he seen me with the basketball, he seen me with my bag, and he was just like, you showed me how to dribble. And I sat there for about 10, 15 minutes and just showed him different drills. And as I was he thanked me, man. He was like, man, thank you. And, my dad, he was trying to show me, and sometimes he gets a little upset. I was like, he's not getting upset. He's just trying to teach you the right way to do it, and try not to take it as if your dad's upset with you. He's just trying to show you the best way he can. But you gotta do this every day. And he was like, okay, and he was just like, thank you. And as I drove off, man, cause he like ran in the crib like excited, like thank you. And as I drove off, man, I was just saying to myself, damn, this has constantly been happening, you know, where I mean, I've had older young men, you know, 24, 25. What do you think I should work on? And I'm just, wow, you know, this right here is, and it's not about sports. I mean, it's just being of service, you know, allowing yourself to be a vessel for information, and to allow your experiences to help someone else, you know. So yeah, man, I gotta keep pushing, you know. And my son is one of my number one reasons, man. I feel like if the only way I can go out is on my shield, you know, because that's the only way I want him to go out, you know. And that right there is the reason why I get up. I mean, the minute I get off of here, it's back to business. You know, this young man asked me, do I believe in God? Yeah, I believe God is in me. You know, I believe there's a God outside of me, but I believe there's God in me as well. That's the reason why we can create. That's the reason why we have the ability to do what we do. And that's the reason why we've fallen uh, as far as we have as souls, because we don't live as if we are godly anymore, you know, or as if God hasn't given us the power to create. And it's just amazing that people are disconnected from the source as much as we are. You know, some of us have been derailed and taken away in some way, shape, or form away from God, but it's just something that brings you back. So that right there is another reason why I get up, because I do know I can create. I mean, that's the reason why now is another opportunity for me to show not only myself but my son, man. But this is really what it takes. You know, once you put your mind to it, you don't have to have, you know, everything that you need. You just have to visualize, and you have to see yourself in that moment, and living that life, and grabbing you know, whatever it is that you dream of. And it has to be in your heart. It has to be something that you really want to accomplish. And one of the things that I really want to accomplish is making sure that my son and my daughter know that they have a father that wanted to give them a foundation, because I'm just tired of seeing the broken homes, and I want us to go back to being like a tribe. You know, I would like a farm. I want my children to be able to have somewhere that they can call home and is theirs, and they don't have to think about where they'll go if times got hard. You know, they know where they're going. You know, or they don't have to leave. You know, it's just is that's my dream at this point. You know, so I got to keep getting up and chipping away every day and stay at it. So, you know, you got to find your why. You know, and once you do that, I'm pretty sure you'll get off of your ass and do what you need to do. So find the why, and that should be enough. You know, and one thing we gotta start doing is fuck the excuses. All of them. I don't give a fuck if this person did that. I don't give a fuck if this person did this. I don't give a fuck what happened. I mean, We gotta say fuck the excuses. It's too many people out here lying to themselves, lying to other people. You know, we out here bullshitting our. When you bullshit yourself, you know you're gonna bullshit other people to some degree. You know, but then that's probably, you know, that's halfway true because most of we treat other people better than we treat ourselves. You know, so you know, you gotta get to it, man. You gotta get to it, man. Start with ourselves, get right, and find your why. And it's that simple. It may not seem that simple, but it is. Think about it. All right.